Today is day 8, and today we are going to talk about a very important aspect, that is courage. जो पिक्चरों में दिखाते हैं वो वैसा वाला नहीं. We are going to start. We're going to talk about that kind of courage that makes your voice shake when you speak, anyways. That the kind of courage that we're going to talk about that makes your hands tremble, but you act anyway. That kind of strength that we're going to talk, which shows up in silence, not in the noise. Let me be very clear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting despite the fear. Today, we are going to cover this entire thing in good about 7 to 8 parts. So be patient, but understand each and every part. The part one. What exactly is courage all about? The courage, what people think means being fearless, taking reckless risks, shouting louder than others, never backing down, jumping into the fire. It is wrong. Courage means one thing: I feel the fear, but still I will do the right thing. Doing the right thing despite whatever that you're feeling inside. I've told so many times. हर इंसान को डर लगता है. Write it down. बाकी सब, it is all हवा. An officer also feels fear. Every single person feels fear. But an officer does not let that fear make the decision for them. डर होना नॉर्मल है. डर के बावजूद सही काम करना. Now that is what courage is all about. Because here's the truth that no one tells you: fear is just an information to your body, not an instruction. It tells you कि अच्छा बॉस यहाँ आग लगी, यहाँ पर ये प्रॉब्लम है, and then you act upon it. Fear tells you this matters. Fear tells you this is risky. Fear tells you pay attention, alert, alert. But fear does not. It never tells you don't act. ऐसा तो नहीं बोला है. Fear is an alarm system. हम लोगों ने उसको गलत मान के चल लिया है कि ओ माय गॉड, अगर डर लगा तो सब कुछ खराब है. नो, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग इज that if you don't act on it, courage is not the absence of that fear. It is a decision that something else matters more, and then you act on it. This brings us to part two: what fear looks like. Real heroes, the real moments. Let me show you what really courage looks like in Blood and Honor. पहली कहानी, सेकंड लेफ्टिनेंट अरुण खेत्रपाल सर, 1971 वॉर, December 16, 1971 वॉर, बसंतर, शकरगढ़ सेक्टर, इंडो पाक. हुआ क्या? 21 साल का ऑफिसर इज कमांडिंग और पाकिस्तान elite armored regiment is advancing. India's defenses are crumbling. His squadron is ordered to hold the line. In the middle of the battle, his tank is hit. His crew is injured. His radio operator says, "Sir, we need to pull back." Now, he had a choice: to pull back and live, or hold the position and give his infantry time to regroup. What would you have done? He knows what the holding meant. He knew he would probably would not make it back to his people, his country, his parents. His commanding officer's radio says, "Arun, pull back if you must." Arun responds calm, clear. He says, "No, sir, I will not withdraw. I will stay and fight." My question again: what would you have done? He stayed. He destroyed 4 Pakistani tanks. He held the line. He saved his battalion. Of course, शहीद हो गए, शहादत को उन्होंने पाया. 21 साल में वो डिसीजन. What is that? That is courage. No showing off, but knowing the cost and paying it anyways. डर नहीं लगा होगा, चांस ही नहीं. डर लगा. Every person feels it, but he chose duty over safety, over comfort. Pakistani's brigadier, who was now then commanding the enemy tank that day, later said, "If all Indian tanks commander fought like Arun Khetapal, there would be no need for infantry." Second story, Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey, Kargil, 1999. July 3rd, 1999, Kalover Hills, Kargil, height 16,000 feet, temperature below freezing. वैसे ही वाट लग जाती है. Captain Manoj Pandey is leading his men to capture an enemy bunker, heavily fortified, machine guns, grenades, snipers, everything you name it, it is there. His men are hit, bullets are flying, men are falling. Manoj could have waited for reinforcement. He could have called for artillery support. He could have slowed it down. But his men were exposed and the time was running out. So he did something no one expected. He stood up in the full view of enemy fire and charged. His men later said he could not believe it. He just stood up and ran straight into the bunker. He lobbed grenades, he fired his weapon, he cleared the bunker, then he moved to the next one and the next one and the next one. And he was shot multiple times. Now, again, the question, what would you have done? His men rushed to him. Sir, you are hit. We need to evacuate you. Captain Manoj was bleeding, struggling to breathe, and he said, Na chodnu, don't leave them. That was a passion. He wasn't talking about himself, he was talking about the enemy positions. He kept finding until physically he could not. He cleared 4 bunkers before he fell. He was what age? Your age. 24 small years. And that's courage. That overpowering of the fear feeling that is there at that time, feeling fear and doing it anyways because lives depend on it. And of course, Captain Vikram Batra, Ye Dil Mange Mo, July 7th, 1999, 0.4875 Kargil. Captain Vikram Batra and his men had just captured the 0.4875, one of the toughest peaks in Kargil. The victory radio message he sent, Ye Dil Mange More. Everyone celebrates mission accomplished, and then the radio cracks. Another point, another 5140 needs urgent help. The assault team is pinned down. Heavy casualties. Captain Vikram volunteers immediately. His commanding officer hesitates. Vikram, you have just finished one mission. Send someone else. He responds, Sir, they need help now. I'm going. He goes. During the assault, a junior officer is hit by a grenade. He sees him. The officer is bleeding, exposed. He runs to him, shields him with his own body, drags him to the safety. Second grenade lands near him. Vikram covers the officer with his own body. The grenade explodes. He takes the entire blast. He saved the officer, but he could not save himself. What was his age? Just 24 years. That's courage. No slogans, no words, no thumping of the chest. Choosing someone else's life over your own. Would you have done it? I'm very sure. These stories don't end. And why am I telling you all these stories? So that you come to know कि उस समय your decision over your fear matters. I can go on and on for all these stories, but I need you to inculcate that in yourself. Before I move to telling you how to inculcate, let's bust certain myths. People have told that, courage means physical bravery only. No, most courage is mental and moral. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal's courage was physical, yes, but it started with a mental decision. I will not abandon my position. Most of your courage won't be a battlefield. It will be in admitting that you're wrong. You were wrong. Speaking up when everyone is silent. Saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. Choosing the hard right over an easy wrong. That takes more of courage than most physical acts. Second myth is courage means never backing down. Well, again, courage also means admitting mistakes and correcting the course of action. Think of Captain Manoj Pandey. He charged the bunkers, yes, but before that, he reassessed the situation. He changed the plan when the original plan was not working. Real courage includes saying, I was wrong, asking for help, changing direction when needed. Stubbornness is not courage. Rigidness is not courage. Adaptability with integrity is. Myth number three, courage means aggression. Well, courage is calm, control, and purposeful. Listen to what Second Lieutenant Arun sir messaged on the radio. No, sir, I will not withdraw. I will stay and fight. He wasn't getting emotional. He wasn't shouting. He was calm, clear, and final. Or what Captain Vikram sir said, sir, they need help now, and I am going. Simple, direct, clear cut clarity of thought. Because of real courage, because this real courage doesn't need an announcement in itself. The bravest voice is often the calmest one, my dear friends. I'll glide into part 4, why courage matters in real life and in SSP. You know what? The courage decides who steps forward when it is uncomfortable. In SSB, the officers watch for, do you speak honestly in the interview even when the truth is uncomfortable? Do you take initiative in the group task when no one else is willing to do it? Do you accept responsibility when anything goes wrong? They are testing your fearlessness. They are testing your character under pressure. Because in the combat, they need to know, will you hold the line like Second Lieutenant Arun Khetrapal? Will you protect your men like Captain Vikram Batra? Will you make the hard call when it really matters? And in life, how will you precipitate what courage is? Courage decides your relationships. Can you have the difficult conversation? Can you apologize when you're wrong? Your career, can you stand up to what's right at work? Can you take responsibility for failure? Your self respect, can you say no when you're pressurized? Can you choose values over convenience? Look around you, the people you respect, the ones with integrity, honor, real strength. They're not the loudest, they're the bravest, they're the calm, they're doing their work. They're the ones who admit mistakes, correct their course of action, stand alone when needed. Most of them do that. Do what's right when it is easier to do what's popular. Comforts build habit, courage builds leader. Now let's do a self audit, looking within in our part 5. Here is what really matters. I want you to answer these questions, not loud, not shouting it. Sit down, एक जगह ढूंढो and आराम से बैठो और इन तीनों को questions को self audit करो. Think about this past week. Do I avoid speaking truth to avoid discomfort? Or did you say silent when you should have spoken? Did you let someone else believe a lie because correcting them was awkward? Second question. Do I choose silence when action is needed? Did you see something happening wrong and walk past it? Did you know someone needed help and avoided getting involved? Number third question. Can I admit mistakes without fear of judgment? When you messed up, did you own it up? Or did you make excuses, blame others, hide? Number four question. Do I act according to values or convenience? When faced with a choice, what won? Values or convenience? What you believe is right or what was easier? Question number 5. When afraid, do I pause or still act? Think of the last time you felt fear. Did you freeze, run, or breathe or move forward? सच बात बताऊं, जहां डर है वहीं करेज की एंट्री पॉइंट है. सो प्लीज लेट्स नॉट कंफ्यूज. जहां डर लगता है, दैट्स योर अपॉर्चुनिटी. मार्च, march towards it. If you haven't felt fear this week, you haven't grown. Fear is a doorway. Courage is walking through it, my dear friends. If you haven't acted despite the fear, you haven't built courage. Now that is would be concerning for us. Now, ma'am, ये सारी तो बातें हो गई. How to do it? Well, that brings to part 6, the practical tool which you need to build it today. Today we are going to build our courage, not by doing certain saying words, but by really penning it down, by doing it. Tool one discomfort action. Right now, identify one thing that you have been avoiding. For example, apologizing to somebody, having a difficult conversation with a friend or a parent, speaking up in a class or a meeting, taking responsibility for a mistake, asking for help, saying no to something you don't want. Pick anyone or two as well. बहुत बड़ा काम करने की जरूरत नहीं. You know, at times, small courage can be, walking up to somebody and just saying, hey, you look good, you're doing fine. You're doing great. We don't know anybody. It doesn't matter. Walk up. Nothing wrong in it. Be gentleman. Be, should I say, sophisticated, professional in saying, and say it. Just something honest that you have been avoiding or been hesitating just because it was making you uncomfortable. Do it. Think of these legends which are there, we just discussed. They did not look for courage in big moments. The big moments found them and they were ready. So get ready by practicing all these small moments. Tool number two, calm delivery. Here's the key. When you act, keep calm. Keep your voice steady, keep your voice respectful, keep your emotions controlled. Don't over explain, don't get defensive, don't make it dramatic, just clear and honest. For example, instead of saying, I'm so sorry, I completely messed up, I'm the worst, please forgive me, say, I made a mistake. I should have handled that differently. I'm sorry. Here's, let me make the amends, I fix it. Sure nahi yaar. Strength dikhao. Because Captain Vikram Batra did not say, Sir, I'm so brave and definitely going to go and save them. Watch me, a hero. Look out, bro, I'm here. No, he did not say that. He said, Sir, they need my help now and I'm going. Courage does not require your announcements, it is just there. Tool number three, the three line in reflection, of course. Before you sleep tonight, write these three lines. What was I afraid of today? Number two question, what action did I take? Number three, how did fear change after I acted upon? That's it. For example, I was afraid my friend would get angry if I told him he was wrong. Number two, I told him anyways, calmly and respectfully. And he actually appreciated my honesty and our relationship got better. Fear is always worse before the action is taken. Every single time. Remember, fear shrinks after action, courage grows. I want to tell you in the seventh part, the one truth about the courage. Courage is not something you have or don't have, it is something that you practice. All the legends that we just mentioned, they weren't born fearless. They practiced their courage every day in their training. When the moment came, it became a reflex. And what about you? I want you also to practice it. Practice it not in the battlefield, but in admitting when you're wrong. Speaking of when it is uncomfortable, doing what's right when no one is watching. Every small act of your courage trains your muscle. And when your big moment comes, it will be there. It will be ready. And you will be ready. Not because you're special, but because you practice. You knew that this fear is going to shrink because you're going to act. My dear, I want you all. I want to say something directly to all of you. Maybe you're watching this and thinking, I'm not that brave. I'm not like those heroes. I could never do what they did. Let me tell you something. They thought the same thing. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal was just 21. 21. He was scared. He was a human. But when the moment came, he made a choice. You have that choice every day, every moment, not in war, but in life. When your friend is being bullied and you speak up, that's courage. When you make a mistake at work and you own it up, that's courage. When your family expects you to do something and you don't believe in and you respectfully disagree, that's a great courage. When you're scared to try something new and you try anyways, that's courage. You don't need the uniform. You don't need a battlefield. You just need to act when fear tells you not to. And here's the most beautiful thing. Every time you act despite fear, fear loses its power. Fact hai ye. Every time you choose courage, courage gets stronger. It's a muscle. And you're about to start that training. I want you to give this affirmation to yourself. I feel fear. I feel the fear and I act anyway. I feel the fear and I act anyway. Write that down. Say it when you're about to avoid something uncomfortable. Say it when your voice gets shaky. Say it when you want to hide. Courage is not rare. It is not reserved for just soldiers. It is available to you right now. Everyone has got that choice, and you have it too. Do it today. One uncomfortable conversation, one honest action, one moment where you acted despite fear. It all starts now. Tomorrow, in the next session, I'll cover effective communication. And for that also, you require courage. You need the strength to act, the act to express. Work hard on the things that I've told you. Till then, see you. Jai Hind.